Geographically, Africa is centrally 4 of the 5 fastest animals on the planet are found in Africa. The cheetah, wildebeest, lion, and Thompson's gazelle. Furthermore, Africa is home to the largest land animal, the African elephant, which can weigh anywhere from 6 to 7 tons. To this day, there are several linguistic hypotheses from etymologists regarding the origin of the name Africa, among which the following deserves attention. The first part of this word, Afri, was the name of a native tribe that lived in northern Africa near Carthage in the 3rd century BC. The combination ka is a formative suffix in the Latin language, which means country or land. Coral reefs of the Red Sea, and the gravitation. Therefore, the natural zones of equatorial evergreen forests, savannas, and deserts are a true paradise for many animals and birds. However, among this diversity of African wildlife, one group of animals stands out distinctly, unmistakable from any other: zebras. Alongside the lion, elephant, giraffe, and hippopotamus, the zebra is another symbol of Africa's diverse animal kingdom. That's truly the case. So it's not surprising that the animal is named zebra, a word of African origin that has remained unchanged and easily assimilated into almost all European languages. Interestingly, during the Roman Empire, zebras were referred to as tiger horses. Our striped beauty is an African relative of the common horse and belongs to the horse genus, the horse family, with its unique black and white striped skin pattern. It's worth noting that zebras are found exclusively on the African continent, and their striking coloration has made them some of the most well-known mammals in the world. These animals were once widespread across the entire Africa. Several zebra species exist, and to provide a more comprehensive introduction to these animals in the context of our video, let's say a few words about their species diversity. Quagga, or Equus burchelli, is the most common species, named after the English botanist William Burchell. The pattern on the skin of these animals depends on their habitat. Northern subspecies have a more vibrant pattern, while the southern ones differ slightly with paler stripes on the lower body and a somewhat ochre hue against a white background. Burchell zebras are medium-sized animals, weighing between 639 to 749 pounds. The habitat range of this zebra species zebras, the plain zebra, lacks a neck fold and a grid-like pattern on its hindquarters. It's worth noting that only the plain zebra embarks on remarkable migratory journeys in response to the ever-changing seasons and food availability. When faced with drought, it's the pangs of hunger that drive them toward more verdant territories. Grevy's zebra, also known as the desert zebra, Latin Equus grevii, owes its name to none other than Jules Grevy, president of the Third French Republic. This unique zebra species was bestowed as a striped gift by Emperor Menelik II of Ethiopia in the late 19th century. Distinguished by its larger stature compared to other members of the horse family, Grevy zebras boast elongated bodies measuring up to 3 meters in length and weigh in at a remarkable 880 pounds or more. A notable feature that sets the desert zebras apart is their substantial swath of white or yellowish coloring, accentuated by a broad, dark stripe running down their backs. The other stripes on Grevy zebras are comparatively narrower than those of other zebra species, arranged in closer proximity to one another. These stripes, rather than being pure black, exhibit a rich brown hue, and interestingly, the zebra's belly is devoid of stripes. Even their ears carry distinct character, nearly jet black coat adorned with fine white stripes. These stripes extend down to the very hooves of the animal. Mountain zebras have adapted to thrive in the high-altitude regions of the African continent, at elevations reaching up to 6,560 feet above sea level. Within this species, naturalists identify two additional subspecies, the Cape Mountain zebra and Hartmann zebra. The Cape Mountain zebra, Latin Equus zebra zebra, is now rigorously protected in South African countries due to their ruthless extermination at the beginning of the 20th century. Presently, there are only about 400 representatives of this subspecies in the national parks of the Republic of South Africa, near the Cape of Good Hope. The Cape Mountain zebra is the smallest among zebra subspecies. What sets it apart in terms of its striped pattern is the fact that the finest stripes are located on the animal's head. These zebras stand at a withers height of only 45 to 50 inches and weigh between 551 to 573 pounds. The subspecies of Hartmann's mountain zebra, Latin Equus zebra hartmanni, is also on the brink of extinction due to consistent hunting by local farmers, who are protecting grazing lands exclusively for domestic livestock. Unfortunately, over the past century, the population of Hartmann zebra has decreased by almost tenfold. According to the latest data from conservation organizations, their numbers now total only 15,000 individuals, and you can only encounter this subspecies of zebra in the mountainous regions of Namibia. Like all members of the horse family, zebras are herbivores. For them, there is no better feast than the vast plains of savanna, covered with lush, diverse grasses. Zebras also enjoy indulging in leaves, roots, and ripe fruits. An average zebra's body measures, generally a bit larger, stand taller with a more robust build. Zebras have relatively short legs, ending with very sturdy hooves, an indispensable part of their locomotion. In the wild, plain zebras can travel approximately 40 kilometers per day, causing natural wear and tear on their hooves. However, their moderate weight and active lifestyle enable zebras to undergo the regrowth of hooves with minimal discomfort. Initially, these newly formed hooves are relatively soft. All individuals of this species possess a short and stiff mane. The central strands of their mane's hair extend in a distinctive brush-like fashion from the head down to the tail. Zebras don't run as swiftly as horses, for example, but when needed, they can reach speeds of up to 80 kilometers per hour. Interestingly, when facing danger, zebras employ a unique running technique, zigzagging, effectively exhausting their pursuer, making them almost unreachable prey for many predators. Zebras have rather poor eyesight, although they can discern all colors except orange. On the other hand, nature has endowed them with a highly developed sense of smell, allowing the animals to detect potential threats from a significant distance and timely alert the herd. However, lions are also well aware of this feature and hence approach zebras from an upwind side, making it more challenging for zebras to detect their scent. Zebras produce a variety of sounds that mimic barking dogs, horse neighing, or even the braying of a frightened donkey. The type of sound they produce depends on the circumstances they find themselves in. Mountain zebras, for instance, make a distinctive barking contact call, while the cry of the Grevy zebra resembles something akin to the snorting of a hippopotamus coupled with the braying of a donkey. Loud snorting is often a sign of alarm. Whinnying usually occurs when the animals are in pain, but it can also be heard during friendly interactions among them. Zebras sleep while standing, and within the herd, there are always a couple of sentinels ready to sound the vocal alarm in case of danger. And finally, friends, the most intriguing question of all: why are zebras striped? Many pose even more intricate questions. What color is a zebra? White with black stripes, or the other way around? Well, there's no magic here. Fierce debates continue to rage about the base color of zebras. Are they white with black stripes, or vice versa? Naturalists unanimously argue that the dominant color is, in fact, black. Nonetheless, the unique stripes on a zebra's skin create an individual pattern for each one. Much like no two tigers have identical stripes, and we all have unique fingerprints. Interestingly, the stripes on the zebra's neck and head are arranged vertically, adorning the body at a slight angle, while the legs are embellished with distinct horizontal lines. Another remarkable feature: zebra offspring identify their mother through her individual stripes. Moreover, zebra stripes serve as a form of camouflage, visually blending the animal with the scorching, shimmering air of the African savanna, effectively disorienting predators. Additionally, the stripes act as excellent protection against bothersome tsetse flies and horseflies, which respond only to polarized colors and therefore perceive zebras as inedible. Although there isn't a unanimous consensus among naturalists regarding this hypothesis, some believe that another reason, more convincing, for the avoidance of zebras by tsetse flies is the specific odor that zebras emit, which repels these dangerous flies. Furthermore, the stripes serve a necessary role in temperature regulation. There's a well-founded belief among scientists that the black and white coloration of zebras aids in cooling the animal. The reason is that different parts of the body heat up differently. White areas heat up less, and black areas heat up more. This temperature difference induces the circulation of air currents around the animal, helping the zebra to endure the relentless African sun for extended periods. It's worth noting that the striped skin of zebras is not only aesthetically pleasing, but also exceptionally strong. However, the origin of the black and white stripes on a zebra's body and the specific evolutionary process that painted it remain subjects of ongoing scientific debates. Zebras typically live in small groups of 6 to 10 individuals, consisting of several females with their offspring. There's only one stallion as the leader. He protects the group, determines the dominant mare, selects a place for the night, and guards pregnant females and newborn foals. Zebra groups come together to form huge herds, jointly overcoming the challenging path in search of new pastures. By the way, along with antelopes and wildebeests, such massive gatherings of animals can number rolling in the dust, presumably as a dust bath that cleans them thoroughly. The adults also take care of their skin's cleanliness, often bathing in mud. You might wonder why. It's quite simple. The clay-like mud dries and eventually peels off in coarse flakes, taking along bothersome insects and other debris. Moreover, zebras have developed a useful friendship with little birds called oxpeckers. These bold birds perch on the zebra's backs and use their sharp beaks to pick off parasites from their skin. And ostriches, because of this advantageous cooperation, helps protect them from predators. At the very least, the tall giraffe will spot a threat much earlier and immediately alert, to potential danger. However, zebras are rather capricious animals, and their mood can change rapidly. Behind their incredible beauty and grace lies absolute disobedience and excessive stubbornness. It must be said that no one has managed to saddle a zebra yet, and even the most skilled rider will face quite a challenge attempting to do so. To get obedience and compliance from a wild animal like a zebra, you first need to be able to capture it. As is known for many centuries, humans captured wild horses, for example, using lassos. Zebras cannot be caught this way because they have a unique reflex. They swiftly shake off a lasso with a sudden movement of their head and neck. Even for the most experienced animal trapper, the chances of achieving this are quite slim. Furthermore, zebras themselves are quite small and low to the ground, making riding them uncomfortable. Their height ranges from about 41 to 59 inches, while a horse's height can reach 70. Whether good or bad can be discerned from its ears. When the animal is calm, its ears are straight and almost immobile. But when it is anxious or frightened, its ears are pointed forward and become nervously twitchy. In captivity, zoo and wildlife park workers often determine whether or not to enter an enclosure based on the position of the zebra's ears. A zebra can transform from being calm and good-natured to becoming frenzied in an instant. It's ready to kick its hooves with such force that keepers may lose their front teeth at best. Taming zebras is difficult. They don't tolerate captivity well, even if you constantly offer them the greenest grass and clear water at their feeding trough. So what do zebras eat in the wild? Typically, their diet consists of a variety of grasses, leaves from the shrubs and bushes, tree bark, buds, young shoots, and roots. Their somewhat calorie-poor plant-based diet requires them to consume food for most of their waking hours. Zebras have a relatively simple stomach structure, but their digestive